Aloha. Blessings. This is a very special edition, a little offering for us, the collective, to continue on the path of decolonization. Today, in the United States, currently being referred to as the United States, the sacred lands of Hanahuat, is the holiday of Thanksgiving. And I woke up very early this rising and felt very called to share some of this wisdom. I woke up in a very contemplative state and really just feeling into the energies of the day. On the galactic harmonics of what is referred to as thank you, beloved, referred to as the Maya calendar, the energies of today is led and guided by the Nawal, the energy of Doch. And Doch is the most sacred of the energies in that it is the day of offerings. And why is it that it is this day of offerings? The energy of Toch is the energy of pain and suffering. It's the wisdom that is expressed through the experience of pain and suffering. Interesting fact to share is that this energy is my destiny energy according to my Maya cross. It is the energy that my soul is intended to move towards, to be a representation and expression of. So this energy of Toch and its wisdom of pain and suffering has meant that I myself have experienced this pain and suffering. And the truth of the matter is that any lands, which is all lands on the earth, have experienced colonization. We've experienced the taking away of what is sacred, of life and in life, and to call it discovery. You do not discover your mother. In the teaching of the Rahas gave me, or the Rahas, indeed, yes. Thank you for sharing that. So on this day, on this sacred day of Toch, I am calling in, I'm invoking this wisdom to share with all of you, and I would love to ground us into this day, into this moment, this movement of energy that is brought to us from the moment the sun rises until the next sunrise. We have the opportunity to acknowledge the pain and suffering and to give offerings to Mother Earth. We acknowledge the pain and suffering that we might have given or been, have had the experience of And there was something that as I sit and as I've sat with my elders, there is a story that was shared around the process of creating ceremony. And so if any of you have ever sat in ceremony, you know that it is a process. You don't just show up. Although, you can be one of the ones that are invited to just show up and be present. But when you are guiding a sacred ceremony, there are very important steps that we take. And sometimes these steps require us to, as the elders are saying, go trek up a steep mountain to collect this specific type of plant and to bring it back to the community where the ceremony is being cultivated. And the physical pains that you might experience, the maybe even suffering in lack of water or food or nourishment or rest, momentary suffering, right? Because ongoing pain that is unaddressed becomes suffering. I'm getting a message. So this deeper wisdom of knowing the gift that pain and suffering can bring in the offering gives us a perspective of the bird, of the higher perspective. And we just ended a trecena of Sizikin, where this bird's eye view, the visionary, that which can sense and have vision, just gave us lots of insights. And today is the second day of a new cycle. So we are guided both by, as the Mayas say, is God source creator, the Unapku, the creator formator of measure and movement. So every day has both a measurement energy and a movement energy. And so today we're guided by the movement of Toh and the wisdom that it brings to us as we give a moment of pause and reverence and honor for not just our own experience, but the larger collective macro layered experience, the collective consciousness of pain and suffering. And on this day, the capitalist colonial expression of Thanksgiving is like overindulgence. Yes, let's be in celebration. But what the elders and what the indigenous and what I am here to share is the ancient technologies, the wisdom that let us be in harmony with Mother Earth. And that is that today is also felt as a very heavy day of pain and suffering. It's a reminder that the colonizers celebrated its colonization of our people. It's not a joyous day. And yet to be in community and to commune is joyous. And so we want to be in that celebration. And this is where the offerings come in. This is where the wisdom of the day can be brought to root this experience that maybe many of you are experiencing and participating in what is referred to as Thanksgiving in the United States. The currently referred to United States, the ancient lands, is to root ourselves in the process and practice of offerings. When we create a feast and we're celebrating, what an immense state of gratitude that we have for this abundance. And in order for us to truly harmonize, we begin to practice the indigenous ways. And I want to invite you on this day to, as you consider all of your feasts, remember the ancient ways of really speaking into that energy of gratitude. And before you consume, you offer to Mother Earth. You literally offer to Mother Earth. This is a very ancient practice of offerings. Also create an ancient and beautiful temple of invoking that gratitude. Create an altar. Create a sacred altar. Bring in pictures of the people that you love and will continue to love that maybe have transitioned and are no longer in this dimension, in this realm. They're in the spirit realm. Or maybe it's your spirit team and it's a altar to call in all of those energies. Maybe it's an altar for the earth. Maybe it's all, like I do. But whatever your calling is, to invoke the wisdom of the day and really acknowledge the pain and suffering that has and in the colonial reality continues. Be joyous for life and let it be contagious every day, please. Please make this something that's important for you every day. Not just on the days that we commercialize gratitude. Let's decommodify life and sacredness. Let us bring in harmony and alignment to our being and our experience in this state. The state of being, the state of evolution, the state of moment of now. Everything is now. There is no past, just memories of the energy. And we are warriors. We're here to bring back the newness of the abundance, the true abundance of life and living. And in this way, we give. We give constant from a state of abundance, and we recognize when we're not in that. And we recognize and come in communion with community, with the friends and family that we love, that love us, to give us the strength that we need. And so I send so much love and gratitude to you and invite you into this practice and process of giving thanks from within as a constant part of your life, your lifestyle, to bring in sacred offerings in life as part of the way in which you decolonize, which, as I've been sharing, is a natural way to rebirth the body-mind. And what the new earth is asking us to rebirth our body-mind, because we have to deprogram and then reprogram. And we're literally doing this at the same time, which is so amazing. We are amazing. We're an amazing species, and we have so much more potential to express. And my biggest desire in this incarnation is to simply help humanity recognize their greatness. And we do this firstly by activating the power of love that lives within us, in the heart space, the self-love, and we creatively express that into our being. And me sharing of these wisdoms is part of my sacred offering. My offering to help us realign with the natural world, because when we embrace nature and we embrace our part of nature, part of the ecosystem, and we remember the true interconnectedness that we carry and that we are, we begin to live in greater gratitude, and we receive more abundance because of the law of reciprocity. That's a natural law. I'm also here to share more of that. So I want to invite everyone who's tapping in this moment of now, wherever and however that is, to drop into your heart space with me for a moment. I want to invite you into this moment with me in this now. And we're going to send this collective intention of gratitude and the power and potential that we have with that intention, allowing both the mind and the power of its cosmic energies to rise and send the message from the heart, from the feminine, guided by the creator formator of life itself that resides and lives in the body, and we can feel it through the emotions, the waters in our body. So thank you, sacred wisdoms. Thank you, ancient technologies. Thank you, ancient ancestors, for your wisdom. And I want to teach you in the tradition of the Maya, there's a couple of different terms, but when we use our hands to invoke energy, in the Vedic tradition, it's called mudra, and in the Maya tradition, it's called a mala. But I want to share with you, teach with you something right now to help you invoke reverence, gratitude for the source creator, or for yourself, for your family, for your friends, for your community, for your collective, and for this entire planet. And we do this with putting our hands in our heart. And so depending on our gender, or if we want to de-gender ourselves, because that's also part of New Earth, maybe the energetic expression or masculine or feminine, we want to bring that in. Because today is also, I forgot to mention, the measurement is the energy of two, which is all about dualities. And so we invoke that, we bring that energy in of dualities of the two, and bringing it together to work together as they're complementary into relationship with one another. And so I invite you to do this by either, if you are of your feminine energy, you want to bring your feminine left hand over your heart and then your right hand over. Or if you're in the embodiment of your masculine, you bring your right hand over your heart and your left hand over it. And so I'll switch so that I can be in my feminine in this moment. Bringing in the energy and intention into our heart space, allowing ourselves to have a aligned spine so that the breath can come in unobstructed. And in a moment, I'm going to guide us through a two-parted breath, honoring the energies of duality in the number two times. Before we do that, we will exhale all the air from our lung so that when we take in a new breath, it is as the ancient elders say, breathing in a brand new breath of life. Giving a moment and a pause as you settle into this moment to really give gratitude for your body and the temple that it represents, the physical vessel that takes you everywhere in this life. Honor it in the way that you would honor anything that you super, super cherish and love and want to protect and nourish. Considering the types of things that you bring into this vessel. What are the foods? Are they electric? Are they going to give you energy, more vitality? What are the things that you're going to see and hear? Do they align with your purpose and your vision and feeling of yourself? Do they build and boost you up? Do they add more to your life? Everything that we do in life is a choice. This choice comes from intentional actions and the ways in which we use our energy. Give and share it. Receive. Do that natural back and forth law of life. So on 3, 2, 1, let's exhale all the air from our lung, really tucking in the belly button, breathing into 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, holding this breath, holding the energy of sharing and connecting in community, connecting with the body and all its intelligence. Breathing in a little more to 2, 3, holding this energy, releasing slowly out the nose. Thank you, life. Thank you, divine feminine. Breathing in again to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, holding this, giving reverence for all of life, gratitude for all of life, all of the experiences. Taking in another breath to 2, 3, holding this once again, connecting to all the parts of you, all the layers and dimensions, giving gratitude and releasing slowly out the nose. Giving yourself this moment to just really settle in to yourself, to what you desire, what truly is life in gratitude. How do you cultivate this in your life? Reflecting that back out to all of the beings and experiences that reflect this for you in so much love, affirming, reflecting back that abundance to bring in more of the same. I want to close this sacred session with a divine message from the Earth Warriors Oracle. So divine. I love this. I haven't used it in a while, and it felt like today was the most appropriate day to bring it out and to connect and hear the divine messages that might want to speak through us. We had some beautiful rose quartz in the shape of a flower. I love this particular gem. It's here on my desk space, and I commune with it often because it's just a beautiful divine representation of what like rose quartz means to me. It's something like it's like the love beauty, and so it's a beautiful representation of what that is. And that's my wish for you, is that you're able to connect and believe and experience this for yourself through your cultivated values, the way in which its expression reflects back to you all the things that are beautiful to you, and how through that inspiration of what is art in life, naturally, you get a chance to experience that in this life. But let us see what the Earth Warriors have to say to us today on this beautiful day of dualities, in the day of Toch, the day of connecting with the state of pain and suffering, so that we can remember and share our offerings, give gratitude for life itself and to Mother Earth. One message, please. And all of you that are here, if there's something that you want to receive, let's take a moment to include all of those desires messages for wisdom. And at whatever time space dimension you might access this message. Oh, we have a lot, but we'll receive. We have a 3-card message. We start with Amuata, Sage of Higher Knowledge, which is number 12. We have number 7, which is Lina, What Must Be Shall Be. And finally, Mama Kia, Mandala of the Moon. We are coming up on a sacred new cycle of the moon. We are just passing the halfway point, and we're moving into a full moon that's happening on Monday. So we are beginning to feel that momentum of energy on top of the energy of the day and the new momentum that we are on, the new Trasana, which if I didn't already share in this particular message, we are guided by the energy of Ganil for the next 13 days. Today is the 2nd day. The energy of Ganil is the seed. It's the seed of new life. It's the seed of newness. It's literally the energy of fertility. So on these next 13 days, it's a very potent time to plant your seeds of intention. What projects do you want to spring up for you? What newness do you want in your life? So today on this sacred day of offering, let's hear what Mother Earth and her warriors want us to know about our path and our walk. And at the end, I saw the energy of the moon, so I was reminded of the moon cycles. All of the cards have the energy of the moon being reflected, but let us read the first message, the energy of 12, the energy of Amwata, Sage of Higher Knowledge. Seek what feels true, even beyond the logical. Something, if doesn't feel right, challenge it and dig deeper. Educate and inform yourself on matters of importance to you. Trust that your mind is strong and bright enough to do this. Enhance your self-esteem by researching for information and trusting your intuition to help you discern what is useful and true. I would switch the word of self-esteem because it's evaluative and instead say enhance your self-love by researching for information and trusting your intuition. Have faith in your own mental abilities. If others have criticized you, made you feel inadequate and understanding, cast that off as belonging to the past and not relevant to you now. You will become immune to manipulation by others who will be convincing but not necessarily accurate or helpful. Trust the power of your mind to receive and recognize the answers that you need. You will find your way. So in this message, we receive the wisdom that we should be testing all opinions and advice, research, and alleged facts according to our own intuitive guidance and instinct. Select that which is helpful for you and notice that which is best cast aside, even just for a time. Seek information and assistance from those that you feel can assist you and yet will guide you on how to proceed through a deep inner knowing. There is always new knowledge beyond existing boundaries of thought. We simply need to be open and willing to receive it with patience, discernment, and trust in greater guiding power. The Oracle of Amuata comes to you with guidance that an answer is coming, an important piece of information, and that when you are centered in your heart, you will recognize that for what it is and how to proceed. This is a really powerful one because there are two types of knowledge. There are two types of knowledge, and this is reminded to us by the ancient technologies. Again, I shared with you the wisdom of the feminine and the masculine. The energy of 2 is coming through today for us to recognize. And this is reflected in both instinct, which is body wisdom, and intuition. Instinct and intuition, they're 2 forms of intelligence, but also the cosmic mind, that's body, and also the cosmic mind and the way that our thoughts can be guidance. Let's talking about both the heart and the body when we talk about both instinct and intuition. Instinct and intuition are 2 very essential ways of living and knowing. One that allows us to connect to the way in which we connect to the wavelengths of other people and that intuitive waters that allow us to be empathic, and also one that flows through our heart space that gives us true knowing in the flow in our ever so present interconnection to the cosmic universe. It allows us to move beyond the logic, which is brought to us by the physical brain and the mind, and move us beyond this and expanding it into new forms of intelligence. And so it is important that we're using both the body and the mind, but also being reminded that the wisdom of the body also has 2 parts, that instinctual and that intuitive. And that when we come to a place from non-judgment and really wanting to encourage the expansion of our own intuitive gifts, it allows us the relief, the healing relief, knowing that we are the first and truest place of wisdom. And it's coming to me in this way because it's really powerful for us to know that everyone's going to have an opinion about how to live, what to do. I have my own, but it is no one's, right to enforce or to manipulate that upon another. So we give thanks and gratitude for our inner knowing, and we walk our path, and we can inspire others. And if they want to seek to learn with us, we can share our wisdom. But we decolonize ourselves in the way we give by not pushing ourselves onto others, when we allow ourselves to grow and to learn together as a community. So here's a healing practice or process that the guidebook Oracle offers. If it feels aligning to you, you can say this aloud. I call upon the grace of unconditional love and the truth of the divine mind to empty and cleanse my mind and emotional body from fixed opinion, half-truths, and deception. May I trust and be patient so that I can see and know the highest level of truth available to me. May I give and receive peace, enlightenment, and helpful, accurate communication. May divine light shine bright and help all beings find their way through my own free will. So be it. So that's the beautiful wisdom from Amwata. Let's dive into Lena. And that's number 7. And 7 is that sacred sisters, the sacred 7, the Pleiades, star system, my galactic home. Lena, what must be shall be. You have beautiful dreams and inspired bold ambitions. You are guided to believe that they are all natural expression of your soul, something that is meant to be. Life will support you in the expression of those dreams and ambitions, even in the moments where it seems to be a struggle rather than support that you are experiencing. The process for transformation into full maturity involves learning how to grow through light and through darkness, back into light again. You will always find your way back to the light. Have faith in yourself and what must be. Dedicate yourself to what you love without hesitation. Woo! Heart's getting activated with this one. allowing what must be shall be. This is really beautiful. Let's see what its wisdom is. So it says, if you're experiencing loss or change, have faith. Sometimes things happen that seem to be working against us. It is only later that they show themselves to have been vulnerable, valuable ways by which we acquired the greater faith, courage, and determination that were necessary to be the fulfillment of our purpose. Know that your destiny is unfolding and you are moving through circumstances that are ultimately going to help you become your soul in fullness and splendor. Keep going. Everything happens in your life is helping you to fulfill your divine potential. Know that any darkness will give way to light. Here again, we have this beautiful wisdom of duality coming through, and that light and darkness. We have to experience those moments of being in the womb, being in the darkness, introspection, whatever that looks like for us, challenge, so that we can feel and sense and know and experience the brightness and illumination of the light. And it shares here as part of its spiritual guidance that just as life and death are natural, so is growth. And we are here going through this like portal of rebirth. I've been speaking on this for a year and a half, and we're starting to come out of that tail end of that rebirth. And in 2020, we are going to see tremendous activation happening. Tremendous activation. It's like the caterpillar stage that we've been in. It's an extraordinary point for us that is completely unfathomable to us because we cannot even envision the beauty of the transformation that's unfolding itself right now. It is part of that rebirth, the death cycle, that with death is the composition which creates the carbon, which is the building blocks of new life in this earth dimension. It allows us to move into the stages of growth, knowing that the uncomforts that we feel, the dissonance that we may feel, literally have to do with us moving into this extraordinary time of this incarnation of earth, but also for ourselves as a collective humanity and the individual, that we have these amazing potentials, and our dreams aren't just dreams, they are literal visualizations of the manifestations that we can bring into the world, and that we may be being confronted at this time with particularities that allow us to build knowledge and intelligence around navigating so that we can be the embodiment of that which we desire. The future version of us that's here in the now being cultivated through our intentional actions. Sometimes we may forget, we get caught up in the mind and the thoughts, and this is why balance is so important. That is why release and coming to a completion is so important, and that's what the moon cycles remind us, because the new moon is intended kind of to be that death cycle, that time to go back into the womb, the self, the newness, the emptiness, the darkness, allowing us to really give us the energy to move ahead, even with concerns, even with confusion, to allow us the opportunity to move into genuine soul purpose rather than foolish imagination that is not necessarily rooted in part of that reincarnation or rebirth process that we're going through. I love this reminder of having faith on our own purpose, because we are always guided in something that I got reminded recently as a reminder of I've been experiencing a lot of coming up of grief, and I had a reminder of a death experience that I didn't experience, but a death of a loved one, a 16-year-old Chihuahua, and the death was very tragic and very horrific. And the message I received during that time coping was like, all is as it should, all is divine, all is in its divine place, all is in divine timing. Sometimes when things that are really horrific are happening, it's hard for us to wrap our head around this is purposeful, this is intentional, we must experience this And so it's not about being foolish about life, it's actually walking our destiny. And so Great Spirit wants us to be reminded that our inner forces are always compelling us towards our purpose. Not to fear the radical changes that are taking place. They're taking place because it is a generous expression of unconditional love for you. When we engage in pain and suffering, again, the wisdom of the day, we receive the offerings that come back to us through the wisdom we receive. Know that we are always able to thrive, even if sometimes we feel like we're just surviving. Spending time in nature is going to help us be reminded of this because we can see all the processes, the stages of life in its rebirth. So I encourage everyone to do that. So Lena's healing message is this. If you feel called, say this aloud. I call upon the wild grace of the sacred feminine, and I give gratitude for your wise and loving assistance in my life. I accept your blessing to fulfill myself. I trust that you will show me the signs and impress upon me the guidance that I need so I can feel reassured, focused, and committed. Help me and all the beings fulfill the plan that Great Spirit intends for us and has placed in our hearts. Only the goodness of our wisdom prevails, and every darkness leads me into greater light. So be it. Also, allow yourself to spend time doing the things that allow you to feel in your genius and your sacred purpose, activating those, deep intelligences that's innate, intuitive, and instinctual that we were just speaking on with the wisdom of Amwata. Thank you so much for that wisdom. And let's look at the last message from the Mama Kia mandala of the moon. Perhaps I'm saying it incorrectly, but everything is as it feels. I'm always very intuitive with all these things, so here's its message for us. I, the lunar mother, bring you my mandala of the moon to manifest through the law of magnetic attraction. Yes. My mandala is the sacred portal through which your dreams, intentions, and visions shall pass into the wholeness of being, from the realm of inspiration into the world form on earth. There is no need for doubt or concern, for even the appearance of delay signifies that the divine feminine mystery is at work, with timing unfolding according to a higher loving wisdom. Trust that what is falling away is meant to be, whilst you have faith in new divine workings being born, which is literally what I was just sharing. So if I feel I don't want to go somewhere, I shouldn't go. Exactly. Let's trust our intuition. If it's not right for us, it's not right for us. And even if it's fear, even if it's like, part of our darkness coming up for us to see, that's okay. That is okay. Whatever is present is acceptable. Let us not force. We cannot force life. Let us be in the flow, because as I was just sharing, all is as it should. So this mandala, Mama Kia, the mandala of the moon, she is coming to us with the sign that creative works will reach fulfillment Relax with trust and positive expectations that all your needs will be met. I'm going to repeat that fucking shit right now for those that need that intensity. Relax with trust and positive expectations. All your needs will be met. So many of us are feeling a state of survival with the things that are going on and the way we're feeling the collective consciousness. So it's a good reminder for us as we, tap into what is painful, what is suffering, and how we give offerings on this day of Thoth. So going back to the mandala of the moon, it shares, this makes it easier for us to flow into the abundance with all the earthly and spiritual matters falling into place according to a great and loving higher intelligence. Things are changing, even if you cannot see the physical evidence as yet. Trust that your actions are leading you into a better way of life. Rely on the universe, and you shall see how all things come together according to a timing and higher order that suits you. Even way better than you could have even imagined for yourself. It's an important just reminder that when we are very focused on something that we want to have happen, we sometimes can get caught up in the timing or the timeline or the linear nature of what we think time is. And this is also another paradigm shift of the new earth that I've been speaking on. The illusion of time, the distortion of time and the way that it enslaves us. Everything is as it is intended. There is a divine timing, a higher intelligence to it all. Let's not become impatient and try to control things, control the process, control our timing, control the timing. Sometimes we want to use our ego mind and logically create steps because it helps us create action. And that is very important when we have a clear project. But when the project has to do with relationships with other beings, we cannot control that because we all have our own divine timing. Everything has to fall into place as it is intended, and it will. So when we make incorrect assumptions about believing that it didn't happen or it hasn't happened or it won't happen according to our current expectations, meaning it won't work out at all, we are setting ourselves up for limitations. We could be honest with ourselves. You know what? That thing at this time isn't for me. And that's totally fine. That thing at this time isn't for you, and that's totally fine. But allow yourself the openness to be changed and for things to change around us, because sometimes, especially when we're walking the spiritual path or we're walking the path of self-realization, if we have self-awareness and we're building and we're growing upon ourselves, we're constantly working to improve ourselves, not according to external standards, but internal motivations, then we're always seeking newness and bigness, You feel that. Yeah, feeling torn, especially when we're walking our decolonized path. Because again, it's guided by the self-love vibration. We have to love ourselves radically. It's a radical act to be in a state of self-love. Buddha Mother here is telling us, helping remind us that our soul, she knows of our intent. She is saying that you are permitted by the divine to create what it is that you want to bring in your life onto this earthly realm. That there are the creation cycles that must be honored, and we must acknowledge that this is part of that. She reminds us to be in trust of that sacred feminine wisdom, expressed in the darkness, in the womb space. And that we can feel when we are experiencing the sunrise right at dawn, or maybe even the transition into the night, sunset. So it's expressed through sometimes this uncertainty that can be represented by the darkness or the night, and then when the new cycle begins, the daytime. So we can use stages of the day itself, just like the moon cycles, to remind us that there's a natural world that we're a part of. Let us embrace this. Let us, if we feel uncertain, that's an okay thing. But what is creating the uncertainty? When we go on a deeper level and we trust in the wisdom that was shared with us here, with the instinct and intuition, activating the higher mind, using the ego mind as a funnel to bring through the wisdom, we can then, really be guided to practice what keeping the faith might look like, or acting when we are in faith, acting when we can act, rest when we must rest. Because it allows us to be reminded of the cycles, The new earth is birthed and will be birthed as we continue to follow the path of least resistance, when we follow the path of peace, when we follow the path of abundance. There is no lack, there is no deficit. These wise teachings that we can receive from all paths, from all cultures, is that when we have the inner knowing, when we connect to our many forms of genius, our intelligences, we actually can never have the wrong path. We're never on the wrong path. Sometimes we can forget that, If we can just be reminded that the universe is always working in our favor, even the challenging moments, they're here to be a teacher. When we're uncomfortable, it's here to teach us. Allowing us to not always be so turned away by challenge, rather staying true to our path, being that embodiment, no matter what comes our way, but also being honest with ourselves again when we can act. When we're in the state of warrior, we can act, and we act. When we're in the state of needing to rest, then we rest. You cannot be a warrior every single day. You have to take a rest sometimes, or else you're going to be killed on the battlefield for having lack of energy, right? So one of the most important lessons when we think about moon cycles and the moon and the mandala of the moon is that it is important for us to not resist these natural cycles, allowing us the time of the rest and the time of the light, right? The nighttime for the rest and the daytime for the light. Or maybe perhaps you have a different energy and the sun is a time for rest for you and the moon is a time for action. I have my cycles during the moon cycle that bring me that to me. Full moon's very activating in the night, and I prefer to rest in the day because the energy calls me so. So it's a reminder that when we cannot act and we cannot see, we have to rest and we have to be patient. We have to have faith that the day will dawn for us to take action. We don't resist or insist to change the cycles that are naturally presenting themselves. We don't offer judgmental opinions to ourselves. We instead connect. We honor the universe and its cycles. We honor ourselves as a representation of all that is, of life. We use our many forms of intelligences to connect to the truth of the knowing that the divine, our soul, has a destiny unfolding for us, happening at every moment. When we surrender, we lean into this. We are able, by the source energy, to create the life that is intended for us, one that is unconditional, one that is loving, truly intimate, fulfilling all the things that we desire with so much force, fierce power, passion. Not force as in forcing, but the force of nature, the force of life, the pure force, fierceness of life, the mysteries of its divine. And the Divine Mother wants to invoke peace and reassurance of your mind and heart as you realize that she is here for you now. She's here for you always, in this time and all times, including during the seasons that you need to rest and the need to act, including all your dreams. that might unfold itself more brightly during those moments of rest. And the way to honor this energy today is to say aloud, I honor the creative magnetism and loving power of attraction. The attraction within me that calls into my life all good things for all good purpose. What is not for me, I release with trust, and what is intended for me, I embrace with joy. I have been given the free will to create whatever I choose, and with this understanding that spiritual responsibility for all my creation rests with me, I ask the unconditionally lovely and mercifully Divine Mother to guide me from the heart, that all my creations bring her pleasure and fulfill my soul. With gratitude and self-love. Yes, Divine, I am happy to do that for you. So, it's important for us to express our heartfelt desires to the Divine Mother, the Divine Feminine, to the Divine Feminine within us, to the Creatrix within us and around us. Speak to her as a loving guide and friend, one that is here to fulfill our yearnings, to create for us, to support the creative energy of creation for us with the beautiful feminine goddess energy, the gentleness, the lovingness, and hidden truths under the deck. Here we have the medicine of the butterfly, which I was speaking on the rebirth that's happening. So this is a hidden truth that's happening right now. As I said, in 2024, we are going to be literally coming out of the cocoon and rebirthing. And when that will be in 2024, I don't know what your cycle is. But it will begin in 2024 for many of us and continue from there. So that concludes my formal session. For anyone that would like a one-on-one or for me to pull a card for you, I am happy to do that at this time. Thank you so much for joining me in this session, this impromptu session of decolonizing your palette. Today we talked about Thanksgiving, and sending you so much love and blessings for the next time we are going to come together and commune. Let us